Hey guys, this is Barb from Inside Outline and welcome back to another Cricut tutorial. In today's tutorial, I will be showing you how to make this 3D shaker cake topper. So let's jump right in. So first, as you can see, I have all these pieces on my screen. If you would like to make this exact cake topper, all you have to do is go over to my website, insideoutline.com, sign up to my free resource library, and you will be able to access this Cricut project link. Yes, I said this link to this Cricut project. Obviously, if you want to switch up a few things like the number or the name, you can do that for sure. But if you would like to get this SVG file, or access to this project, just head over to my website and sign up to the free resource library. So what I'm going to show you is all the different layers that I have going on. So I have this little Spider-Man or spider web right here. I have the name, and then I did 2 offsets of that name. I have the city, and then there's also an offset of that city, as you can see. And I'll just zoom in just a little bit so that you can see everything. So if you can see that white outline of that city, that is an offset that I did. And then there's also an offset of just all the different pieces. There is Spider-Man himself, and there's an offset of him. There is this O, and then there's an offset of that. And then this pal, there's an offset of that as well. So now I'm going to show you the layers for my 7, because the 7 is really what is the shaker piece of this cake topper. This is the trim, so I'm just going to pull things over. So these 2 7s will be doubled up on top of each other. You can create more than 2 layers if you want, just depending on the depth that you want your cake topper to have. But for this recording, I'm only going to use 2 of those pieces. I'm going to click on this piece right here, and I'm going to bring it to the front because this piece will actually go over the top of the double-sided foam tape. So whenever you're creating a shaker cake topper, you most definitely need a layer like this to cover up your double-sided foam tape. And then this turquoise or this blue layer right here, I'm just going to bring it to the front. This goes on top of that trim, so it just adds an additional detail to the overall cake topper. And then this light gray layer is the acetate layer. So I'm just going to show you really quickly. If you wanted to come in and do a different number instead of 7, I'm just going to show you how to do that really quickly. So what I'll do is to go over to the text tool, and I'll just type the number 8. And I'm going to change the text to Arial. I like to use the font Arial Black because it's big and it's pretty bold. And so then I would just, make it the size that I wanted it to be. I would change up my color, and then I will start making some duplicates. So I will make a duplicate, bring that over. So those 2 layers will be stacked on top of each other. And then I'll click duplicate again. And this layer is actually going to be this part right here. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you will go up to offset, and then you want to slide your dial to the left instead of the right. And you want to make sure that you get it thick enough so that it will cover up your double-sided foam tape depending on the thickness of your double-sided foam tape. So I think that's good. So I'm going to click apply. And what I'll do next is to select both of those layers and then click slice. So now we have that trim, okay? And then I can just get rid of this piece right here. So taking that trim, we want to create this, this blue layer. So what you would do is to go back up to the offset, and we need to slide this over to the right some. You can start to see that blue line fill in on the screen. I'm gonna try to take it down a notch to see if I can get it to a decent level. I think that looks good, so I'll click apply. And then I'm going to change the color to that blue, and that's basically how you do it. I'll double click, or I'll click on this red layer, make another duplicate, change that to that light gray, which would be the acetate layer. And that is basically it. Everything would be lined up, and I'm just going to place everything the way that it's supposed to be. Right click on this and bring it to the front. going to move these pieces back to where they are supposed to be. The city, and then the name. I'm gonna try to straighten this first. Align center horizontally, center vertically, and that will go there. And just select all of this, and I'll right click, send to the back. No, it's not what I want to do. Okay, what's the best way to do this? Oops. Okay, so, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to do. So the 8 would go in the back, and then this would come on top. And so that would basically be it. So you can, switch up any of the numbers that you want. You can switch up your name as well. So what I'm going to do is to come back over to the project that I am working on. And what I'm going to do is to click the Make It button. And I'll click on For Any Material and click Continue. So this first, what we want to do is to print and cut those pieces. So I will click the Continue button, click Send to Printer, always leave Add Bleed on, and then click Use System Dialog, and then click the Print button and minimize my screen. And what I want to do is to choose the paper that I'm using, and then change the quality to best, and then click the Print button. And then I'll just hop over and show you all the materials I'll be using and then start cutting out the different pieces of this project. So these are all the materials I'll be using for this video. Over here, I have all of my adhesives. I have this double-sided mountain tape that I got from Dollar Tree. I also have this super thin double-sided foam tape that I got from Michael's. And I do have some Pop Dot adhesives, and I got these from Dollar Tree. And then I have my Barely Art precision glue that I'll be using as well. Over here I have my cardstock, and I also have my clear acetate. And then in this little cup I have the confetti that I will be putting inside of the cake topper. So now what I'll do is to put my cardstock onto my mat and cut out all the pieces, and then I will come back and show you how I assemble everything. So here are the pieces that have been printed out. So what I'm going to do is to put them onto my mat and cut out these designs. Okay, so all of my pieces have been cut. I'm just gonna slide everything over. So all of my pieces have been cut. So what I'll do now is to just begin assembling everything. And I think I'll start with this piece first. So yeah, take my double-sided foam tape and just start putting everything together. So this part is complete. So now we will move over to the shaker portion of the cake topper. So these 2 7s, and for this part you can create as many layers as you want to. I'm only using 2 layers, but you can create however many you want. What I'll do is to just put some double-sided foam tape between these first 2 layers. Okay, now that part is done. And if once you get done with your cake topper and you decide that you want some additional layers on the back side, again, you can always go back and add some to your cake topper. So what I'll do now is to take my very thin double-sided foam tape and trace all the way around my 7. That is what that first strip of double-sided foam tape looks like. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but I'll just keep going. Okay, so I have my foam tape all the way around my number 7, and I do think later on I'm going to add some additional layers to the back side of this cake topper. I may cut out 2 additional ones and add them on the back side, but for right now what I'm going to do is to pour my confetti inside of my cake topper. And I'm gonna use my Cricut weeder to just spread some of this confetti around. Okay, so next what I'll do is to take off the paper from the double-sided foam tape. And I'll be very easy with this part because I don't wanna, you know, have confetti everywhere as I'm trying to remove the paper from the double-sided foam tape. Okay, so that was a little tedious, but I was able to get all the paper off of the cake topper, off the double-sided foam tape. So now I have my acetate layer here, and I'm going to lay it down on top of the double-sided foam tape. And then I'll just take my burnish tool and just press it down. I don't want to use my fingers to do it because I don't want to get any smudges on the acetate. So next, it is time for our trim to cover up that double-sided foam tape as best as we can. So I'm going to take my Barely Art glue and add that trim. Then I'll take my burnish tool again and just press down onto that layer to make it lay flat. And you probably can see some of that double-sided foam tape sticking out. I'm just going to take my Cricut weeder and try to press it in a little bit. Okay, so this is our shaker number. Okay, then I'm just going to take some double-sided foam tape and put it on the spider web. But before I do that, I need to apply my blue trim. So let's do that right now. Okay, so this is what that cake topper looks like. So I will add the spider web over to the side. And then, you know, however I want to put these two pieces together, I can do that. Or if I want them to be two standalone pieces, I can do that as well. I do have a clear stirrer that I would, you know, use to put onto the back side of the cake topper so that it can stick inside the cake. So I think I'm just going to take a piece of double-sided tape and put this right here. Okay, then I'll flip over the cake topper, get my stirrer, and get my glue gun and add some glue to the stirrer. So this is what the final cake topper, shaker cake topper looks like. Again, it was very easy to create this cake topper. Again, I said that I may end up adding some additional layers on this back side just to give it more dimension. But overall, this is the shaker cake topper. And this is the other one that I created as well. So be sure to comment down below and let me know which one of these is your favorite. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below in the description box. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.